Welcome to Battle Brothers. This is a game that I've wanted to play for a long time for my channel. It's a game where you command a bunch of mercenaries. I believe up to 12. They may have updated the cap, but last time I played it's been 12, and then the game somehow uninstalled from my Steam library. So we're a mercenary commander and trying to make money from doing missions and quests and stuff that eventually get harder throughout the game. Your men die if you don't place them in the right spots, or the enemies are too strong. Excuse me. So they have, in this game, it's set in medieval times. You can see a castle in the background. I don't know if my mouse is going to show up in this game, but it hopefully should. The game also has the undead, orcs, goblins, and other various things. I think werewolves and necromancers. So we're going to start a new game. Looks like they updated the banners since last time I played it. Oh, that looks like Dark Souls with the sun. Crown. Let me try to find a banner that I like. I like this banner. I like that, but I like this. Let's go with the Dark Souls. We can name our mercenary company, which is actually really cool. I'm gonna play as beginner. If things go too challenging, I'll try to make another company. I'll play on veteran. I don't know if that will work out very well. So we're gonna name the company Dark Souls. We can name it Dark Souls. I'm gonna have them called actually Brothers of the Mark. There we go, Brothers of the Mark, because I feel like Dark Souls, they have marks. I'm not exactly sure. So let's start the game. It's really narrative also. Not a lot of dialogue from what I've seen except for shots. Oh, and fighting in the background. So the last battle, it all went wrong. 2 days ago, the company was hired to track down Hargurt the Weasel and his band of raiders. But it was them who found you first. An ambush, some joke about horses, cut short by an arrow to the throat. Arrows shooting in from everywhere and nowhere. Men hollow and scream a great volume before death. Excuse me. As the hell subsides, you draw your weapon with the rest of the men, only to collapse to your knees. An arrow has punctured your side. You shout in pain. A herald glance sees the men charge without you to make a valiant last stand, met in force as steel clashes with steel. You meet with the captain, a last nod before his throat is cut. You're left in command now of what few men remain. Trembling in pain, you lean on your sword, and with all the will you can muster, slowly rise again. To the end. Let's see what happens. So I'm gonna let this play out, and it looks like they're done. So, and Battle Brothers, I'll make this video a little bit longer, but so you have hexes, tiles, or stuff. It's a lot of turn-based game. I know I said that in the beginning, and I'm just checking for new improvements since the last time I played. So you have action points. It's an action game. I don't know the word for it. I'll figure it out later, in the next video at least. So you have action points, AP, you have fatigue, you have morale, head armor, body armor, and hit points. Head armor and body armor are super important if you want to kill the enemies correctly. I also have an inventory that you can switch. I could actually drag this instead of the bow, but it will cost me 4 AP. So we're gonna shoot a bolt at this guy or this guy. It looks like the weasels back there. And we can actually, oh, we have to. So this game is really realistic, somewhat, to old medieval style. So after you fire a crossbow, you have to reload it, and that costs the action point. So he's pretty much done for the game. Looks like the weasel is running away. He's a coward. So we're gonna swing at this bandit dog, cut off his head, and we're gonna slowly move onto this guy. So we're gonna step right here, and we're gonna step one more time, and then we should, I'm gonna end my turn. So this bandit dog's gonna move forward. We're gonna attack him again, and one more time. And he's still not dead. He barely has 1 HP. So we're gonna shoot another crossbow bolt at him. But you can see when I hover over him, look at that guy on the left. Because if I move my mouse away from this bandit dog, you can see I'm shooting through him. So I could possibly hit my own guy and kill him. So we're gonna risk it, and we're gonna win. So this is all the men we have left. We have a wooden shield, so we're gonna take that. Press spacebar. So the aftermath. You're alive. You've won. The adrenaline fades. Oh, by the way, if you're not good with me talking, just pause the video. I'm pretty much a bad speaker at this point, and I'll hopefully get better. And in its wake, you can't help but sink back to the ground. It looks like you won't be holding a sword anytime soon. Gritting your teeth, you snap the arrow shaft. Your chest heaves for breath, feeling the pain well up in your very lungs. Most of the company lies dead. All those men you fought with side by side in the shield wall this past year. And Hog Gort did justice to his name, running like the weasel that people mock him to be. What now? A voice says behind it's Terloff, who sits down beside you, bedding his bloodied axe on his legs. You turn to him to reply, but before you answer, he continues. The captain's dead. They slit his throat. He was a good man and a damn good leader. But all it took was one mistake. That makes you the one in charge now, don't it? Falk joins the two of you, still breathing heavily. Let's save the anointments for another day. I figure we give the men a good burial and return to Sedhem to collect our pay. The weasel's men are slain after all, even if the man himself tuckered and ran. And we ought to see to the arrow sticking out of you before we lose another man. So this is the map. It's a pretty huge map. You have lots of traveling. I think the fog represents more the land being added in, or we just uncover it lately. So let's check our men. We have a shield. He has a two-handed weapon. He has a crossbow. So Falk and Torlith were talking. I guess I'm Bodor. So each man has his abilities in combat and his perks and cons. So you have Brute. We have background. He's a companion. He doesn't have any perks. So each perk gives its own bonuses. And I'm not talking about these perks, which gives you more abilities. Or I guess you could call these abilities, so never mind. So we're going to travel to Sunhelm. That's our objective right now. And it looks like they did increase the cap. What a sorry display it must be for the onlookers as you arrive in Sunhelm. 4 bloodied and beaten mercenaries down on their luck. The man who hired the company days ago, Gebhard the Younger, no doubt expected you to return in a more glorious fashion. Still, he welcomes you to his house again and offers bread and wine while a servant fetches the healer. Few words are exchanged except for the occasional grunt and wheeze as an elderly man with shaking hands tends to your wounds. Finally, Gebhard the Younger breaks the silence. So how did you fare? A penknife through your skin, the first of many stitches to come. You grit your teeth, till you think you hear one break. Gebhard the Younger takes on a grave look as he quickly hides his face behind a drink of wine. Finding breath, you give answer to his asinine question. We killed all of Hardgord's men, but he manages to elude our blades in the end. The healer waves around a glowing fire poke. What is that? Suggesting he wants to push it into your wound. You nod and he does so. For a moment, that's all there is. You're not a man, but a pinch of fire, flushed from flame. As the pain subsides, you come to see what Gebhard the Younger's mood had lightened. So all his men are dead then. Well, that's I see. A good thing you removed the threat for Sunhelm. But that man, it truly is elusive. We expect to get paid for this. Gebhard the Younger gasped. Well, naturally I gave you my word, didn't I? 100 crowns for every man, so as I see it, that's 400 crowns for the 4 of you. He gestures towards his servant, who nods and hands him a wooden chest from which to take the pay. I wonder, may I use of your service one more time? I'd very much like to end the headache that Hardgord the Weasel once and for all. And I would pay you again, of course, another 400 crowns, shall we say? Torlith squawks and turns to drink more wine, but Falk sounds to speak. Yes, the company is in ruin, but we can rebuild it. You know Torlith, he'd drink the crowns away and end up begging on the streets. And Baldur wouldn't fare any better chasing the woman folk until one stove his rotten head in. We need the brothers of the Mark. It's all we have. What do you say, Captain? Tilef burps and raises his cup to you. Baldur playfully thumbs his nose and nods. You're the captain now, and your men look to you for leadership. So do we continue with the quest, or do we find our fortune elsewhere? So let's say yes. Gebhard the Younger claps his hand in satisfaction. Very good, excellent. I'll need some more time to figure out where Hardgord is hiding his hide now. In the meantime, X suggests you see about stocking up on supplies so that you'll be good and ready to end this when the time comes. I'll see you in a few days' time at the latest. As you leave the comforts of Gebhard's the Younger house and stand on the outskirts of Sodhelm again, Falk seeks a word with you. What it is we need is more men, Captain. I know I gave a big speech back there, but we ain't nothing without more warm bodies in the ring. We should hire at least 3 more good swords hands. 3 more swords hands. Buy them some decent weapons and dress them in the best armor we can afford. The man pauses to glance around. I bet this Volca town's got a desperate peasant or 2 looking for a new life, or we could travel to Black War in the east. Them city folk are always as hardy as these country blimpkins, but we're more likely to find men with fighting experience stopping to rest there, and they'll sell their better weapons too. That's what we shall do. So we're in Sunhelm. We can hire men. We can go marketplace. So in this game, it gives you a little bit description. It gives you their name, and it gives you a little description about what they are. I'm not going to read every one of those because we'll basically hire more and more men. So let's hire him, Robert, and Lodhar. And I think go to the marketplace, see if we can buy any weapons. Let's buy a tunic, a hood, a spear. We already have a shield. Buy some more food. So every man you hire needs his own equipment. So we're just gonna hire all this stuff up. Hatchet. Let's get another helmet or a straw hat. And then I think that will be it for now. So we have, see, every man, well, some have, depending on the background, they could come with weapons or not. Wow, minus 10 hit points, that sucks. Oh well. So let's equip them. Or resolve. Let's give him a spear and a, let me buy a buckler. He's loyal with us in the end, so let's give him tunic and a hood, hatchet, wooden shield. Let's give him a wooden shield, and that should be it. Can I put this? There we go. I think that's all we can do. So right now I could actually just buy him a knife, spear, pitchfork, wooden flail. Nope. So we're gonna have to visit a town east. So it's on the right side. Wow, that is really far away. Oh well. This is all the time I had for today. Sorry I didn't explain it as much as I probably should have, but I was rushed for time. I have an event to go to. So let me know what you think of the video, what you don't like, what you actually liked, if there's anything, and if I should continue the series. So I'll probably make this a quick 5 episode video, but after that I'll have to see your opinion. So thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time.